Shop smart, shop S-Mart. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sun's out, guns out today. I wanted to post a quick update. I made a recent video on folding knives, and I talked briefly about Spyderco folding knives, and specifically, I think I showed this Endura. Of course, the Endura is a super popular model from Spyderco. They've been making it for decades, been making it for a very long time. This one is the original Endura that has this saber grind. On this part of the blade, the thickness of the blade is maintained all the way to this point. It doesn't taper any down toward the edge, and then we have a sort of sharp taper, have that sharp bevel toward the edge. Well, they offer a full flat ground as opposed to saber grind version of the Endura. I don't happen to have one here, but the full flat grind would look like this, with this grind that starts at the spine and goes all the way to the edge. So it's just one big bevel. The blade doesn't maintain its thickness halfway down and then start to get skinny. The flat grind starts right at the spine. And the first Endura that I tried years ago was a full flat ground. That makes the blade skinnier on average. It makes it thinner out toward the cutting edge, and that increases cutting efficiency. Also, it makes the whole thing lighter. So it's a lightweight version. It's a little less weight to carry in your pocket, which is great. And I can attest that when that knife is sharp, when you've got it tuned up, you hone it to as sharp an edge as you can get. My God, it cuts beautifully. It's a wonderful cutter. But I quit carrying the full flat ground Endura pretty quickly, and I kind of got turned off by that one. I haven't carried one in a very, very long time. I used to carry a saber grind Endura quite a bit, and I still like this one, would certainly still carry this one. And some of you may be confused because I said in a previous video that I don't recommend Spyderco, and for the most part, I don't. They make really good products, but they have terrible customer service. So for my money, I would rather buy from somebody who's going to treat me better. There are a bunch of other companies that have similar knives, similarly good products, but have better customer service. But if you're going to carry a Spyderco, and I still do sometimes, I still like Spydercos, just I don't like the company that much. If you're going to carry a Spyderco, look out for that full flat ground Endura, and to some extent that would probably apply to the Delica as well. This paramilitary is full flat ground. They make a bunch of other full flat ground models that don't seem to have this problem, perform quite well. But anyway, the full flat ground Endura that I carried years ago would get dull very, very quickly and lose its cutting ability. I found in those days, typically I would have to touch up my knives about once a week to keep them cutting really well. When I carried the Endura that was full flat ground, I had to put that on a stone and hone it up every day. I had to sharpen it every day. If you're somebody who wants to resharpen a knife every day, it's awesome and it cuts really well. But I don't want to spend that much time sharpening a knife. I'd rather have one that I can touch up once a week and keep it cutting well. And that was the case with the Saber-ground Endura. I found that about once a week would do it. And I found that with most of my knives, about once a week. So I guess it depends on what you like. If you like sharpening a knife every day, then maybe the full flat ground Endura is for you. Did not find this with any of the other full flat ground Spyderco blades, the bird knives, the Tenacious, this paramilitary. They make a bunch of full flat ground blades, but for some reason, because of the kind of steel they use or whatever, I discovered that my experience with the Endura was you have to resharpen it all the time. It cuts wonderfully. It cuts so beautifully when it's sharp. It's just hard to keep sharp. So guys, take that for what it's worth. If you're considering buying an Endura, I would go with the heavier original profile of the blade, the saber grind. But I guess if you need the ultimate in cutting ability, and if you don't mind resharpening the thing frequently, go with the lightweight, go with the full flat ground. Guys, as always, keep your powder dry.